water and apply gently. The facial wash stimulates the skin, cleansing it properly without disturbing the natural pH. Once or twice a week is a good idea to apply a scrub over the cleanser or the facial wash to remove dead cells and unsightly blackheads and whiteheads. A scrub also stimulates the blood circulation in the skin, leaving the face refreshed and cleansed. All young skins have to be moisturized and protected adequately against the dehydrating effects of the sun and wind. And it's important to use a moisturizer with sufficient penetrating ingredients to ensure that it is effectively absorbed by the skin. This keeps the skin moist throughout the day without making it greasy or sticky. Before going to bed, it's also a good time to apply a moisturizing cream. Oily skins provide ideal conditions for the growth of acne bacteria, and serious measures should be taken to control it. After cleansers and creams have been used, the normal pH of the skin should always be restored. This is done by means of a toner, which is gently dabbed across the whole face, concentrating particularly on oily areas such as the nose and chin, so that the oils can be neutralized. It can also be used on individual pimples to dry them out and heal them. You should use a toner on other problem areas as well, such as your back, neck and shoulders. A good toner will consist of a sophisticated formula which prevents pore blockage and combats bacterial infection. A feature to bear in mind when selecting a toner is the presence of ingredients which alleviate allergic reactions. The sun, drawing people outdoors to bask in its plentiful rays. But beware, even young skins struggle to repair damage caused by the sun, and too much sun today could possibly mean skin cancer in 30 years' time. So make sure that you're protected every day, even when you're not on the beach or around the pool. There are numerous health supplements available which can be taken to promote healthy skin in teenagers. A vitamin B complex helps in the prevention of skin infections and relieves dry skin and eczema. Garlic and parsley tablets are good for acne and pimples. A vitamin A reduces the size of the sebaceous glands, resulting in a reduction in the oil onto the skin. Teenagers should be encouraged to follow scrupulous hygiene regimens, participate regularly in exercise, and obtain adequate rest and sleep. By looking after yourself and being meticulous about what you eat and how you care for your skin, will help you make the most of this turbulent and exhilarating time of life. Lastly, a well-balanced diet can contribute a lot to clearing up a problem skin. Apart from the obvious do's and don'ts, try and keep away from yellow fruits and vegetables, dairy products, tomatoes, wheat products, fizzy cool drinks, coffee and alcohol, sweets and sugar, spicy food and fatty greasy foods. Well, at least try anyway. blazing rough trails across our screens in khaki jacket and boots. This is the type of man that captures the spirit of adventure, roughing it up in the right spot at the right time. He's been a role model for generations of men, young and old alike. A sun-crisp hero whose skin is a chronicle of his life in the open air, for whom the words skincare are synonymous with the struggle of survival. But this rough and ready hero is fast becoming an aberration of the past. He might have his film sequence, but he forgot to save his skin. Today, a new breed of men has emerged, and youth is the hype. Even companies position themselves in the marketplace as young, dynamic, and vital. Corporate philosophies aspire to innovation and creativity as they set out to capture the attention of younger markets. And with this youth syndrome hitting the business world, men don't want to show their age and be pigeonholed as conservative and out of touch before their time. With this scenario, it's only natural that men should wish to change their strategy and start buying products to help them maintain a youthful appearance and healthy-looking skin. The problem is that men rarely analyze their skins. They seldom examine the labels on skincare products, and they hardly ever buy their own preparations, receiving most of them in the form of gifts. The razor remains one of the first symbols of manhood in an adolescent's life, and shaving cream is recommended to be used in conjunction with a double-edged razor with a press-button cleaning action. The shaving cream should be specially formulated so that it cleanses the skin and does not act as an irritant on sensitive skins. During shaving, the razor removes the horny layer of the skin to expose a softer, more vulnerable layer. Because the cream does not foam, it will not dry out the skin during shaving. After shaving, an aftershave balm should be applied. This softening emollient cream moisturizes the skin and prevents dehydration. It can also be applied after swimming in the sea or in a pool. Preferably use an aftershave which contains sunscreen properties to protect the skin against the sun and aging. It's also effective in the relief of sunburn, ensuring reduced peeling after prolonged exposure to harmful rays. After shaving, the pH of the skin should be restored with an aftershave splash. This not only refreshes and revitalizes the skin, but it acts as a disinfectant and astringent for those little shaving nicks. The tingling sensation produced by the splash is most pleasant. Being tough might be the name of the game, but having a tough and oily skin is a definite handicap. A granular cream should be applied lightly in small circles, attending to all the problem areas, and thus impurities are removed from the surface of the skin. And this procedure significantly reduces blackheads, acne, pimples, and ingrowing hairs on the face. But the best way to keep skin glowing and fresh all over is to pay particular attention to it whilst in the shower. Use a soap that fits snugly into the hand, and with a little warm water, wash all over the body, concentrating on those areas where hair grows. The ideal soap should be non-foaming, strong enough to wash away the debris of grime, city smog, and drying and flaking cells from the top layer of skin, but at the same time gentle, with no allergic effects that might inflame sensitive skin, leaving you fresh and clean, with a hint of aroma which is both lingering and manly. But for the man who wants to enhance his appeal with something a little more distinctive, apply a roll-on deodorant with a day-long action, or a night-long action if that's the way it goes. For many men, the telltale signs of aging do not always register on their skins. There's nothing like losing hair to trumpet lost youth, forcing a lot of men to consider a hair transplant, which is, to say the least, a costly and sometimes painful procedure. Moreover, the new hair often grows in a different direction to the original hair, and the new hair is not always retained. Anti-androgens and anabolic steroids are used in the treatment of male pattern baldness, but what should be encouraged is proper hair care from early on in life.
And men that still have hair should really take care of it.
By applying a conditioner once a month as a conditioning mask.
And leave it on for about 60 minutes, I would say.
Right, and then wet the hair thoroughly and dab on a little shampoo, and then rinse it off. Now it's important that the last rinse should be done with cold water. This closes the hair follicle
and prevents hair loss.
After this, make sure a little more conditioner is massaged into the hair and scalp to be rinsed again, first with warm water and then cold water. A restorative hair tonic should be gently rubbed into the hair after rinsing. This tonic actually promotes hair growth and can be left on the hair and used as a styler. But remember, wet hair should be combed and not brushed.
A word of advice, never hide a receding hairline. Make the most of it. Comb the hair back to make facial features more prominent.
An active life demands stylish and manageable cuts, from the golf course to the shower to the boardroom. You need a hairstyle that's easy to handle. And for those stray hairs that won't behave, get a little bit of help from hairspray or perhaps styling gel.
You needn't have to struggle to hold on to what's left. Vitamin supplements constitute a good line of defense.
To name a few, vitamin A, vitamin B and seaweed capsules counteract and arrest hair loss. These vitamin supplements not only ensure the rapid growth of hair, but add luster and strength to what still remains. Unfortunately, no man can afford to be too cool to care. The hair can no longer be an afterthought, and the skin has to look young. Skincare routines and personal grooming are essential for men of all ages. Today, a man's toiletries have to reflect health needs and the stringent demands placed on physical appearance. It must bear the mark of his individuality.
Hi. Thank you. From cleansing to cologne, his grooming products should boast variety and quality, not only to prevent the onset of premature skin aging, but to maintain his health and vigor. And for those who test themselves in the corporate playing field, there's a valuable dictum to remember. It's not who you are or even how hard you work. It's what you do when everybody's watching you and how you look when you're doing it. And in the complex culture of the corporate world, outward appearance is always perceived as an index of ability and success. Take care of yourself and put your best face forward. the saying goes, when babies are born, they're so surprised by the event that they're rendered speechless for a year and a half. But what they can do, however, is make their feeling known in no uncertain way, often leading to extreme concern on the part of the mother. But it is universally accepted that a baby will not cry unless it's hungry or wet or there's something wrong with it. And it is the chronic wailer that is responsible for some of the most disconcerting times ever experienced by young couples, because they often get the feeling that they're alone in their plight, with limited knowledge and resources on which to draw. Endless trips back and forth to the doctor, numerous and expensive forays into pharmacies, frequent changes in feed, all combine to make not one iota of difference. Baby continues to cry, and eventually mother starts as well. If that scene had a certain familiarity about it, it may be wise to consider the possibility that you have an allergic baby. A baby who is more than usually sensitive to what she eats, who continually cries, brings up her food, can't sleep, and breaks out in painful rashes. In 1968, Pretoria housewife Annique discovered that plain Rooibos tea was a miraculous remedy for the allergic baby. Since then, thousands of babies, children, and adults alike have benefited from this discovery. With us is Annique to tell us a little bit more.
Yes, thanks, Michelle. Allergies in babies are difficult to identify, but the symptoms of allergic conditions are more easily recognized. If your baby suffers from one or more of these conditions, then reading my book about my discovery may well illuminate the path to a less desperate existence.